Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very interesting video to get into. We have some PS5 news, some Xbox news, some Zelda news, and some Switch 2 news. So why don't we just go and get right into this video. I'm not exactly sure what old cartoon it is, but there's one where it's like somebody being very greedy with little fingers like this. And that's how I'm starting to feel every time we talk about the Switch 2. Because I really think an announcement or a reveal is right around the corner, and yeah, I just want it now. So before we get started, if you could, you lovely, amazing humans, hit a like and subscribe, because it would really help out this channel. Let's go and get right into the video. So recently they revealed the PS5 Pro, and at first glance you're like, oh my god, a $700 console. But after you buy the disc drive, and the stand, and factor in taxes, it's over $850. Me, myself, being a logical human being, I cannot justify buying that, especially when I have the PS5 Slim and I think it's perfectly capable of playing every game I want to play. But it does help to put everything in perspective, so why don't we do that? So something that's kind of going around on the internet right now is a bunch of graphs showing all the recent PlayStation prices when they are adjusted for inflation. And it kind of helps just put stuff in perspective, but I do have some thoughts on that. But first, let's look at the graph. PlayStation 1 launched at $299, and today's price $619. The PS2 somehow was cheaper. I'm not really sure, so maybe inflation went down around this time? The PS3, we know, had a bad launch because of the consoles being so damn expensive. A lot of people got the $599 option, which sounds crazy because it was more expensive, but I guess people just wanted more storage. When you adjust that to prices in 2024, that's almost $1,000. Now, you would say that's more expensive than the PS5 Pro, but this PS3 came with a disc drive and had an amazing Blu-ray player and had free internet. So when you weigh it out like that, the PS3 seems a little bit more enticing. The PS4 prices are actually pretty fair in my opinion. And then we have the PS5 and the PS5 Pro. So people are showing off this graph to justify the price of the PS5 Pro, and I think that's great to have perspective like this. One thing that you're missing in a graph like this is, even though inflation is real, and these prices are way bigger than you might think they are, one thing that has not risen with inflation at the same time is the amount of money people are making and the cost of living. It is very expensive to live as a human on this planet right now, and I can really attest to that. So while inflation kind of puts all this in perspective, it doesn't show how expensive it is to just live and to be able to afford these consoles. And I really think that's a key part missing from all this information. But I'm curious to what you guys think. Do you still think the PS5 Pro is not a good deal, or do you think you can justify buying one? Now let's get into some Xbox news, and boy is it not looking good over there. I'm really not sure what the hell has been going on with Microsoft and Xbox, I want to say for like the last 2 or 3 years. And Phil Spencer even came out and said he made some pretty bad choices himself. That's not saying they can't fix stuff in the future, but it's been a long time since I've even been interested in Xbox, and I'll be completely honest with you guys, I actually just sold my Series S because I had not used it for like a whole year. And I'd rather somebody else use it, who's actually going to enjoy it. And maybe I'm not the only person feeling like that, and maybe Microsoft knows that. Microsoft lays off 650 staff at Xbox Gaming Division. Microsoft is laying off 650 more people from the staff of its Xbox Game Division, according to new reports. Phil Spencer allegedly confirms the number in a memo sent out to staff today, clarifying that jobs are mostly corporate and supporting functions, and they were cut in order to set up the business for long-term success. This is the second major round of layoffs from the company and puts the total number of cut jobs for Microsoft in 2024 at about 2,550. Now I know on the surface this probably looks pretty bad, but I'm not sure how big corporations like this work. Maybe this really is a good thing, that way they can focus on what they need to focus on, or maybe this is a sign that things in the future are going to be worse than they are now for them. But if you had to ask me, it just kind of adds fuel to that fire that things are not going good over there at Xbox. And there's also been rumors going around that Xbox really isn't that focused on consoles in the future. Now that's a different conversation for a different day. But when you add this to all the other news and other rumors that have been going around about Microsoft, things really aren't looking that great for them. Now, let's get into our first leak of the day, which is for Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. And now I want to warn you, this is a small spoiler, so just be prepared for that. If you want to skip ahead to the Switch 2 news, you can do that. The Zelda Echoes of Wisdom map has been revealed, and this is the map right here. And when I look at it right away, To me, it reminds me of A Link Between Worlds map and A Link to the Past. I'm not sure why, but when I look at this, it actually starts to get me very, very excited for this game. I'm excited for it, don't get me wrong. But it's not the Zelda adventure I think I was looking for at first. But now that Nintendo's been showing off more and more of this game, and then seeing this map right here, it kind of makes it a little bit more real for me. I think because this game kind of came out of nowhere, like legit nowhere. Nintendo was like, hey, Tears of the Kingdom was last year, guess what, a brand new Zelda adventure. You get to play as Zelda, it's got this cute art style, it just kind of came out of left field. It didn't really settle with me right away. And I think now that I've had some time, and I've looked at the game more, and just looking at this map, I really am excited for this next adventure, and I think it's going to surprise a lot of us. Now, this is the map right here, but we do know that there is like a dark world, or I can't remember what they called it. I gotta assume it's the map, just a dark version of it, the same way it is in A Link to the Past, and I really can't remember if A Link Between Worlds has something similar. But yeah, I think this game is going to do fairly well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, some Switch 2 news, and Switch 2 news has been coming out every single day. As always, this is a leak we're about to cover, so take it with a grain of salt, but I still think it's very interesting and we should cover it. And to be honest, it's just wishful thinking from me, because I want to see this thing so damn bad and I just want to enter this next generation of Nintendo. So yeah, fingers crossed, right? So personally, I find the source pretty credible because of what they leaked out previously and got right. PS5 Pro announcement date leaker gives us update on Switch 2. Last week, a user on the GTA 6 Discord server leaked the announcement date and the price point of the PS5 Pro. And obviously they got that right and they leaked that out early, and those were some pretty big details. He has now gone on to tease the announcement date and the price point of the Switch 2. Switch 2 gets announced early next month. I'm hearing a base MSRP of $400. It'll come in 2 different SKUs, haven't got clarification, and the specific differences between them now. So the first part, the Switch 2 announcement coming next month, we just covered a leak about a possible reveal commercial, and people are saying once that happens, within 6 weeks we will get that reveal, so that actually lines up perfectly with this leak. And the base price being $400. I'll be honest, the way that the gaming world has been going lately and everything's been so expensive, that's pretty surprising. Now they do say that's the base price, and there will be 2 different versions. So maybe the cheaper version will have a little bit less storage and maybe like a 7-inch screen, and then maybe there'll be a more expensive version for $500, and let's just guess an 8-inch screen and an OLED model with 256 gigs of storage or something like that. Another possibility, which I hope isn't the case, is that cheaper version is digital only. Every single time I think of the Switch Lite, I always think it's digital only for some reason. I know that's not the case, but in my mind I just assume it's only digital. Since digital gaming is so popular now, Nintendo might want to get a digital version and then a physical version, especially if everything's going to be backwards compatible and everybody's going to be bringing over all their eShop games anyway. People might just want that digital option if it's there. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, I'm starting to get very excited. In the comments below, if you could, let me know what you think about all this information. Also, if you could, follow me on Twitter and Instagram because we are growing on both platforms. And you guys know me, I'll see you soon with a new video. Peace out.